Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. We've got a lot of things to talk about today, but first I just want to jump in to the group chat. Just wanted to welcome anybody here that's new for the first time and just let you know that I'm not going to be doing any crochet demonstrations. We're just going to talk about questions, answers, crochet, fun stuff coming, stuff going, life, maybe even the weather, just see where everybody's from. So this is mostly a social time to just enjoy being together. Let me adjust that light a little bit there. All right, well, let me go ahead and just jump in to see how you are doing. Just to let you know, it's about mid 40s here, but the sun is shining in Gaithersburg, Maryland. So I am thankful for that after several days of gloom. So yeah, we are glad to see the sun today. Kelly, thank you for being there. Lots of comments. Thank you so much. I so appreciate your heart there to share with us. Um, I love some of the things too that you like doing. I love going to the Goodwill store, Salvation Army, thrift store, wherever. It's so much fun just to see what we can find there. And Denise, happy Friday to you from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Wow, she said it's a beautiful day there too. Yeah, great. Kelly says it's going to be 75 degrees. And she says, thank goodness I've had enough of this cold weather because it doesn't help with my, is it Raynaud's disease? Wow. Yeah, it's good to see the sun. And Lynn, good to see you, my friend from Chicago. And oh, cool. Kelly says she has an ukulele. I would love to hear you play that sometime, Kelly. That'd be great. Um, and thank you, Lynn, for your sweet, encouraging comments there. And Alana, she says, good morning, Bonnie and whole family will stay as long as possible, but Cody, our rescue dog, has an appointment for a general overview at the vet's today. Well, you got to do what you got to do, Alana. Take good care of your puppy there. Um, all right. Um, and let's see. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Kelly. She says, thank the Lord for Hannah. Absolutely. Hannah, our administrator, is in the group chat, I believe, somewhere. Um, all right. And let's see. And hope your friend in the hospital gets better too, Kelly. Angie, good morning to you and to Brat's mom. So glad you could join us today. She's joining us from a cool and overcast Southwest Chicago suburb area. And Miss Wanda, good to have you in the chat from Bahama, North Carolina. And thank you for your prayers. We all appreciate that. And love DIY. She says, praying for Texas and all those suffering in any way. Absolutely. Thank you for doing that. And Red Hook, thank you for joining us. Um, she said, I'll be listening today. I'm finishing the border on a mosaic baby blanket. Wow, I have to have it done by tomorrow. She's got her fingers crossed. You'll get it done. You'll get it done. Um, maybe it'll be smaller than it needs to be, but it'll be done. And love to craft, waving right back at you. And Phil, good to see you in the chat. Our faithful trucker. He says, waiting to load in Mertztown, Pennsylvania. I know where that is. I've been there many times near Allentown to load and go back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Yeah. I honestly, Phil, I don't know how you drive those trucks through some of those roads in Pennsylvania. Going through the towns. I guess I'm thinking of Pittsburgh when I go visit my son and daughter-in-law. And when I've been to the conference there, I love Pittsburgh, don't get me wrong, but the roads are just the elevation. If you've never been to Pittsburgh and some parts of Pennsylvania, the elevation just changes dramatically and quickly and so fast and so much so that Siri, when I'm trying to follow directions from my cell phone, it can't keep up because of the elevation. Everything changes, right turn, left turn. And I guess I'm just slow. I don't know, but I always have to take it nice and easy when I'm driving into Pittsburgh, but I love the way everything looks. It's just a grand old town for sure. But yeah, I remember going through those areas a lot of time on my way to Indiana, Pennsylvania for retreats and so forth. Um, and Phil says, since I was on with you last, I have gone from Montana to Washington State to Apolka, Florida. I'm going to mispronounce that. I know that's an Indian name of some sort because I used to live there in that area. And back up here, that is cross country. Wow, literally traverse the country. But oh, how the weather was in Florida. Oh yeah, I bet you really enjoyed that. Um, Need to make sure your air conditioning is working well, even in the wintertime down there. And Phil says, but here in PA, it's much cooler, but at least the wind has calmed down. My brother and sister both had their vehicles smashed from downed trees at their houses the other night at home. Wow. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Um, we actually had some workers, I guess utility workers trimming back some of the trees on our road up to where we get that I take to get home. And that's the first time I remember them being trimmed since we've been here, and we've been here 20 years. So yeah, those trees can really do a lot of damage in the wind. And we had a lot of that strong wind too, but thankfully nothing was damaged. Um, and let's see. I just had a lot of things load. Um, yeah. And let's see. You're so funny. He says, Phil says, I missed last week because my friends all called me during the show. They should know better, but they call anyways. Well, how great it is to have friends. And this, you can always just re-listen again, but thank you so much for being here. Again, just appreciate you and our friend Wanda, who's also a truck driver, and any other truck drivers happen to be listening. Thank you for what you do. You're the backbone of this country in so many ways. Can't make I can't buy yarn without you, Phil. We can't do anything without the transportation to get things to the stores for us. So thank you for your faithfulness and all that you do. And many of you out there who have similar jobs, thank you. Don't ever let anyone talk you into thinking that what you do isn't important because it is. Um, Even if it's not a high profile job, all you have to do is not show up, and then people realize just how important you really are. And that goes from the mom to the caretaker who's taking care, like Hannah, taking care of an elderly person, to the jobs that people don't pay a lot of attention to just are in some ways so much more important. All right, Sandra, good morning to you. And Susan B, glad you could join us. And Julie, she says, Happy March. That's right. And if you play the game that my kids play, rabbits, that's something that I learned from my old roommates in college of way back in the 80s. But anyway, my son, I woke up this morning and I already texted the whole group chat saying rabbits. So it's just a little fun game that we play. I don't know if any of you even understand it, but we used to do that a lot. It was kind of fun amongst post-college gals. And Extra, glad to have you with us. She says, I'm watching with my dear cat asleep right next to me. Oh, how sweet. That's a beautiful picture. And Hannah, so glad that you are there welcoming everybody. And Susan says it's another rainy day here in Tennessee. Oh, yeah. And which means it'll probably be a rainy day here in a couple days as a result when that weather moves towards our direction. Um, and Ola Joe, hello to you, my dear. And Cynthia, it's a good morning, y'all, from Northwest Illinois, 40 degrees here. Yeah. And we have Gail from Alaska. She says, we you are having a heat wave as compared to here. Yes, indeed. I will take it. I will take it. And you all know we're in March now, and the old adage, in like a lion, out like a lamb. So March is tricky. You know that. You're going to get a couple warm days and then you're going to be tempted to put away all your sweaters and shawls and ponchos and stuff. Don't do it. Just don't because there's going to be a couple of maybe even snow days. You just never know. March is like back and forth, back and forth. And I just want to swat all the climate change people away. That's what March is. I'm not putting anybody down intentionally or anything, but just know that it's back and forth, always has been my entire life for March. So just be prepared for cold and hot, hot and cold, back and forth, back and forth. and then sometime in May, it'll let go of us, I think is the way that usually goes. Unless you're in South Florida, and then you just go to the beach and have fun no matter what time of the year it is. Um, so anyway, Cynthia, it's good to have you in the chat. And Archer Nays, happy Friday, right back at you. And Ingrid from Chandler, Arizona, welcome, welcome. And June from, is it Onfield, Liverpool, says the sun has finally come out. Yay. Do they allow the sun to come out over there? Um, I did have a delightful time back in 2018 was when we were in, was it 2018? Yeah, I think it was 2018 in London and surrounding areas. Didn't get as far as Liverpool, but we really enjoyed our time. And yes, we did carry an umbrella with us everywhere we went. um, and Gail, so glad that you could join us. And thank you, Denise, for the reminder of the thumbs up. If you all care to hit that thumbs up, no pressure from me ever, you know that. But if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Please consider doing that. Um, hold on. Oh, wow. Hannah says we now have three Cynthias: Cynthia G, Cynthia Burke, and Cynthia Bailey. Well, welcome, Cynthia. Get to join our Cynthia Club. That is fantastic. That reminds me, I had a roommate named Cynthia in college. It was I was still in college then. Uh, yeah, really wonderful gal. Her and her husband actually ended up becoming missionaries to Africa. So she's done a lot. Let me go ahead and shrink this down just a little bit. There we go. So I can see all your comments and Hannah's comments too. Uh, and we have, let's see, and good morning, Karen and Mary. She says, chilly but gorgeous in Frederick, Maryland. Yay, I know where you guys are. We go up there quite a bit to go shopping. Yeah. Maryland. Okay, Frederick. Where was I up there recently for? Oh, anyway, we usually like to go to Urbana, which is almost in Frederick. We go to our Black Hog um, barbecue restaurant. Oh, it's so good. If you like country music and barbecue, not necessarily in that order, but really, really good place to get a brisket or some barbecued anything really. And Terry Redmond, hello, my friend. She says, good day, Bonnie, Hannah, and Yarny community. Pray all are doing well. A cool but sunny day in San Diego. All right. Nice part of the world there in San Diego. Really enjoyed. Hannah got to visit us. Hannah got to come along with my husband and me to visit when he had a business trip out in, where was it? Anaheim. It was in Anaheim, and then we just took some drives in different places, and San Diego was one of them. We had a great time down there, by the way. The Taylor Guitar Factory, where they do a lot of handmade. They do a lot there, but we got to see like a 2-hour tour of that factory. And those of you who are guitar enthusiasts don't ever want to see that, I think it's free. You just have to schedule with them, and it's well worth the time and effort to go there. Um, oh wow, and Joni Trissler says, I'm here today waiting results of my heart monitor. Oh my goodness, Joni, I hope that goes well. My husband has done, I had to do that. My mother-in-law, I think, sleeps with one of those beside her bed now. So yeah, I hope all is well with that. Or at least mild enough to be very fixable very easily. And we have Wanda J. Crochets, still cold here in Illinois. Oh boy. And Najla, it's good to see you in the chat. She says, uh, a rainy day. Hello, a sunny and rainy day. Maybe partly each. And Margita from Sweden, so glad to have you join us. And let's see. Just got a bunch of comments. Hold on a second. I just love to see you guys just talking with each other. I'm not, reading a lot of that so much, but I think it's just great that, you know, there's stuff happening in the chat amongst you that's very positive. So thank you for just keeping it positive there. And from Barbie says, hello from Alaska. My week has been crocheting Lavina shawl blocks. My plan is to put them into a blanket. All right. Well, on that prompt, I'm going to interpret for the rest of you who may not know what in the world she's talking about. On Monday, we released, if I can get it in the right position, we released the Lavina poncho, and this collar can be worn up close or you can pull it down over your shoulders. And it's made of 2 panels. So what she's doing is she's making a blanket by combining the panels, which are just, rectangular panels. I don't know. They're approximately 17 by 34, maybe. I don't know. I'm probably wrong on this, but about that general size. Um, but this was released on Monday, and let me show you where you can get the written design for the pattern. Okay, this was the design that originally appeared on this book. This was released back in 2014, 2016. Well, anyway, I think it's 2016. I think the contemporary Celtic was 2014. But so it's the cover design. Let's see if I have a better picture in here. Give me a minute. All right. Come on, come on. Okay, here we go. It's a little bit better. It's just kind of hard to see the texture, but you can see, the Lavina poncho. So if you're looking to make the poncho, it is on my homepage now for right-handed and left-handed, 2 separate videos. So if you prefer the left-handed, by all means. And let me put a word in for that. If you're looking for a left-handed video and you don't see it, go to that little spyglass, the little search bar at the top, and put in the name of the design and then add the words left-handed, or put left-handed and then the design name. Either way, the search should bring it up for you. And then that way you don't have to be having to rethink everything backwards and sideways. However you left-handers do it in a right-handed world, more power to you. You're the smarter people having to do that all the time. We don't have to even think about it. But thank you for putting up with us righties. And I do want to try to make that as easy as possible. If you're looking for a copy of this book, if you don't have one already, they are available on Amazon, both in the US, also in Europe, in the UK. So you can get these off of Amazon. It's a lot cheaper than ordering it from me directly. But if you wanted an autographed copy, I do make those available for US shipping only. I mean, unless you really want one from me, just know that it's going to probably cost you the equivalent of probably $60 or more. Not what I'm charging, but the postage to send overseas, even just up to Canada, is astronomically expensive. I don't understand why, but I thought, okay, whatever. But I just encourage you to look, at your local sources where you live. But if you live in the US and you want a signed, autographed copy from me, either for yourself or for maybe a friend for a special gift, you can find that in my Etsy store when I'm in town, and I'm in town now at least for the next 2 weeks. In the video description below, you'll find the Etsy store, and these are there, and they do ship out free in the US. So just to let you know, so if it's like $1 or $2 more than what you see on Amazon and you're not a Prime subscriber, just know that I'm doing the postage for you. And I don't get a special break. I just think it's just better to just send them out at my expense on that end. And I have good news. This past week, I got notified that Erin Afghans to Crochet is back in stock at Leisure Arts. They may not be in Amazon yet. I have mine on order. I'm expecting them to arrive anytime. So as soon as they do, I'm putting them right back in my Etsy store, so they will be available. People have told me online. I mean, I've seen these online for like hundreds of dollars each. Please don't fall for that. I know you guys are smarter than that, but and whenever you see that, just know it's not me doing it. It's a reseller. I sell this for $8.95, which is what it's sold for more than what, 14, 15 years ago. So I mean, it's been out since, yeah, 14 years. Wow, it's been on the market 14 years. Um, I completed these like 15, 16 years ago. But anyway, so it's still for sale for the same price. And it's really hard to get. These are 5 designs. Is that right? 5? Yeah, 5 designs, high quality, I think designs and high quality editing, publishing, and whatnot. And for 8.95, I mean, that's kind of what one design costs a lot of times on, from a PDF that you download and print yourself. So if you're looking for these, check out Leisure Arts. And as soon as I get them in, as soon as they come in through that front door, they'll be going up in my Etsy store. All right. And I do have one design. Let me go ahead and show that. That's doing very well on my channel. The Winter White design. There is a complete video tutorial for this design. And that's the only one that I have a complete tutorial for out of this book. Simply because this was published way before YouTube was a thing like we know it now. But I do have stitch videos for all the stitches that appear in here. So you can learn how to do all the stitches from my channel, even though it's not a, take you by every row. You'll just have to look up where the stitch is and learn how to do it. And then you can follow the pattern through that. All right. So thank you for that prompt on that, Barbie. I so appreciate that. And Naja, glad you're doing well. And Susan says, getting close to finishing my last section of Celtic weave on the Afghan on the hill far away. Loving the pattern. Yay. I want it. That blesses me. When I hear people are doing well with that, that tells me that my editor and myself, and that maybe we did things right. We work hard, to do what we can as best we can. But mistakes sometimes happen. I'm not gonna, say, oh, we never have mistakes, because as long as we're living in this human flesh, it's going to happen. I mean, all you have to do is live long enough and it's going to happen. But I'm glad you're enjoying that. I would love to see a picture of that when you're done, Susan. I would love to maybe even collect, pictures from folks of this particular throw. And you can always email me, bonniebay@me.com. I'll go ahead and type this into the chat, although it's going to be way down below. That's the email. So if you can, send that to me when you're done and when you're ready, I would love, to be able to share that with others on social media, just so that they know that it's possible to do. It's not one of these, one time only, impossible things that, yeah, I tried to make it so that it is accessible and it's doable. All right. And is it Chelly? KK says, have you done any mosaic crochet? I'm wondering if your fancy stitches would work in a border. I don't have any mosaic crochet patterns. I think it's beautiful. I kind of stick with my little niche, but I might venture into that a little bit. I do have some good news though. A friend of mine who does do mosaic crochet, and I'll tell you her name. It's Susan Lohman. She's also calls herself the Crochet Architect. I have an interview with her. It's a lengthy interview, so it's one of those videos where you can just, get your crochet and your tea or coffee or whatever you like to drink and sit and have a listen. She's a friend of mine that I met back in 2011, I believe, in Greensboro, North Carolina, at the Crochet Guild of America conference. And she loves the Lord. She's a sweet, sweet lady, very gifted. I almost want to say a Renaissance woman. She does many different things in the craft world, many more than I'll die knowing. I mean, she does a lot of cool stuff. And I'm not going to tell you too much because I don't want to spoil the video, but there's going to be a video interview with her coming on Monday to this channel. I'm going to try to get that up a little bit earlier for the weekend for the watch subscribers. So you can, watch that a little bit early. And I'm just delighted that you'll be able to meet her through this video. And she does a lot of mosaic crochet. So I want you to check her stuff out when this goes live, because it'll have all the links where you can reach her. She does a lot of stuff, and she's very good at it. Very sweet, humble woman. I I just can't say enough good about her, because there aren't enough words, enough, just words, synonyms to describe. But you'll get to see her and you'll see what I'm talking about. That's coming on Monday. And then the Monday after that, I am planning on releasing my Celtic braided sweater, which can be crocheted as either a summer sweater or a, fall winter sweater, or fall winter late spring, because March is going to be still cold, like I said. Um, but that is coming the week after, which would be March 11th. That's coming on March 11th. So it'll be there in time for St. Patrick's Day. And yes, it is green. Of course, it's got to be green. And I'm really excited about this one. I really like the way it came out. I crocheted it in a superwash merino fingering weight yarn. I I have some yarn on order from Universal Yarns. Just went ahead and outright bought a bunch of the pops bamboo pop sock yarn, which has a little bit of that elasticity in it. And I'm gonna try to make one with a summer top out of the pop sock yarn and see how it comes out. I think it should be fine, but I just love that yarn. And they have new colors. I can't wait to show you. I will show you next week, whenever, assuming it gets here in time. So you'll know all that what I'm talking about. But I'm looking forward to designing some summer tops. And I do have many summer tops. If you go to my playlist, go to the top, hit playlist, and look at summer crochet or summer sweaters there. I have sometimes I forget the headings of these categories, but just look for summer crochet and you'll see several crochet summer tops that you can take a look at. And I do talk about how you can adjust them to yourself. It's not rocket science. It's not that difficult. And it's easy to kind of monkey with it a little bit so you get it exactly where you want it to be. So, and I encourage you all to do that. If you've never made a garment for yourself, is give it a try. Be willing to make mistakes, but always have a shirt or sweater or something that you're trying to match, and just keep going according to that. And if you're even close to that original sweater that fits you well, you will get a good fit. That's the bottom line, and that's the big secret. Um, the numbers are not magic, but having that example nearby, that's the magic part. All right. But anyway, so Susan, I'm glad that I can't wait to see your throw. I've gotten a couple of pictures from people, and let me tell you an idea that I have. I haven't walked this idea out yet. I have it in my mind, but I'm just going to spill it in case some of you may have the idea. Maybe you want to do something, maybe a special Easter throw, but maybe you don't have enough yarn or whatever, but maybe you have a lot of scraps on hand. I'm thinking if I just make the 3 crosses, and let me show you what I'm talking about for those of you who haven't seen this throw. You can see lots of stitches that all go around. But what I'm thinking is sizing down the yarn to fingering weight. And I have a whole box of leftover fingering weight yarn. I mean, colors, of the rainbow and beyond. And what I'm thinking is just crocheting this part, the 3 crosses in the center, and with the border, the border, this going all the way around it and just stopping there. But thinking that if it comes out to be small enough, yeah, I could put it in a frame. What do you think of that? Or even mount it onto I've got them over there. I'm just going to go grab one. Okay. These these canvases that you can get from Michael's. I get them in like a pack of like 5, and they have them on deep discounts sometimes, and they're affixed on the back side. They're for mostly for like acrylic paint, so that you can do, but you can do much more than that. I mean, you could easily, glue a picture, like a crocheted picture onto one of these, and or even just make a collage with a lot of different swatches, or maybe even doilies. Like maybe you have doilies and you don't display them, don't know what to do with them, and you can even make them, dye them into different colors, and then just glue them onto a surface. And if you don't want a white background, you can always cover this with a fabric, a material of some sort, and then affix your doilies, or maybe the 3 crosses, framed or something like that. Just an idea. I just have had it in my head, but I haven't been able to implement it with my hands yet, because I've got a bunch of other stuff going on. So got a lot of projects um, in progress, projects completed that need writing, projects that need video editing, then writing. And so there's just a lot of, different phases here that I'm going through. And I'm talking way too much. Let me get back to my, okay, did that. Okay. Well, let me go ahead. One more thing, one more newsy thing, and then I'll get back to the chat. Um, this coming Tuesday, March 5th, I'm going to be teaching a class on Zoom. This is for my watch subscribers, and I'm calling this Crocheting Beautiful Trims and Borders. And what are we going to learn? Okay, in this class, we're going to be covering the low front ridge, the cable stitch, the knurl. We're going to save that for last in case, we run out of time. But the knurl, we're going to try to include that. And we're going to do this stitch, the arrow stitch. So we're going to, just focus on the stitches that we use to surround other things, or we use them to break up, other stitches to kind of, bring them into something else. And these are stitches I've used for years, and I don't get tired of them. They always are great for featuring other things. So even though they're beautiful in and of themselves, but they really do help to draw attention to other things that you're trying to feature the most. It's kind of like beauty saying, "Hey, look at this." So that class, again, and if you're not a watch subscriber, it's not hard to join. There is a link in the video description below. It's $7.95 a month, which is probably less than what it costs you to, pick up a meal through the drive-through, a cup of coffee and a bagel from your favorite coffee store. Certainly less than that. And what do you get for $7.95? There are hundreds of videos there. I mean, hundreds. There, I believe, I don't know exactly how many, but there are many, many PDFs that you can just download. So you don't have to, go to a separate location online to purchase the written pattern. You do have access to the designs that I own the copyright to. The ones that I don't own the copyright to, I'm not able to offer those, obviously, but there aren't that many of those anymore, because most of what I'm doing really from here on out, I am retaining the ownership of my work. It's a hard lesson learned over time. I won't get into that. But it used to be that wasn't an option to be able to be published and to maintain your ownership. But I do now, and where I do, I make that a complimentary pattern. I do have some other fun things. We do have we are doing monthly classes. I actually had 2 last month that were available to the subscribers. So, and not everybody's taking advantage of that. So if you're a watch subscriber and you want to join one of the classes, don't be afraid to contact me in order to keep the privacy as best as it can be on there as well. If you are a watch subscriber, and you watch subscribers know this, please contact me, bonniebay@me.com, and just say I want to sign up for the the beautiful trims and borders class, and you'll get that. Okay. And it's going to be from 2 to 4 p.m. These are all Eastern time. And then I'm going to reteach the same class from 7 to 9 p.m. that same day, March 5th. So if you're, California time, or, Hawaii or something like that, I mean, you're going to want to probably do the later evening time. Otherwise, it'll probably be while you're sleeping. So yeah. And if you, yeah, so that's that. Um, and I am recording these so that if you're a watch subscriber and you can't make the times that I have available for the class, you can rewatch the class and learn that way. Okay. So I hope that that helps. And Hannah is sending me another question. Yeah, that's a good idea, Hannah, about a t-shirt. She says I can put that on a t-shirt. It's not rocket science, it's crochet. Yeah, it's definitely more fun. Although my husband loves rocket science, we oftentimes are watching what's happening at SpaceX all the time because that's something that's really near and dear to his heart. Um, and speaking of the Teespring store, I put an ad, not an ad, a post on Facebook yesterday. If y'all are looking for some fun t-shirt sayings for crochet, I do have a Teespring store. There is a link in the video description. I don't usually push that too much because I don't know how much you all are into t-shirts, but I do have some that are really fun to wear. I like the one that says, the key to happiness. And then the key to happiness, I have listed all the abbreviations for crochet and what they mean. So I thought that was kind of fun. I get a lot of weird looks from that, like, okay, because a lot of crafters have no idea what we're talking about, and that's fine. Um, and there's another one that says, I crochet, therefore I am, drawing from old philosopher, and just have some others. I usually have the got crochet question mark, and I have that in English, and I have that in many other languages on that shirt. I really wanted to add other languages too, but the Teespring wouldn't. They didn't have the ability, let's say, to print Arabic or Persian or Russian or Korean. Some of the more beautiful um, language when it's written down, they don't have the ability to do that, and I was so disappointed, but I do wanna still make a shirt with all of those, because we are, in case you didn't know, for the videos that release that are tutorials, we are releasing them with 11 different languages now, and this is after we have combed through the closed captions, after we use this, a service, and then I also have hire my sister to double check to make sure that nothing is insulting in the closed captions. That because sometimes the crafting words can be misconstrued by the AI. So we make sure that a human has actually corrected the AI, um, and go through that, and so that it's all cleaned up before we translate it again into all the other languages. So we're really excited about being able to provide for a lot of different people that we honestly would not even be able to communicate with were it not for the computer services like that. And Hannah wants to know what am I wearing? This is the Eileen scarf or shawl. I'm wearing it as a scarf right now, but it's big enough. I can undo this here, and I could, wear it as a shawl. I wasn't sure how to wear it this morning. I just wanted a little something because I'm wearing kind of a very extremely casual shirt underneath. But it is kind of fun, those of you who make scarves and shawls, and a lot of times the thing, like for example, the my little hummingbird. I love my little hummingbird. This is a wrap. It's just well, it's a fixture. It's a piece of leather that wraps around, and it helps me to wear these in a lot of different ways. And these come from my friend, Jewel Designs, J-U. Let me go ahead and just type it in the chat. I have done a couple of videos with her. And I know it can be a little sales pitchy sometimes when I know the last time we made a video, somebody was saying, "Oh, I was so disappointed that felt more like a sales pitch." Well, I apologize for that if you watch her videos and you feel that, but I think part of it is she's just so excited about what she does, and she loves what she does. I really believe in what she does. She's the only one that I know. Let me just type it in here. Jeweldesigns.com. Um, it just revolutionized the way I wear scarves, the way I think about wearing them. And so like even if you're just wearing really an old undershirt, and you can grab a shawl, and turn it into a big scarf in front, and voila, you're not as frumpy looking. You know what I mean? It's not like you don't look as casual. It can kind of dress it up a little bit. And they're great when you go into even in the winter. I mean, in the summertime, you go into restaurants where it's cold. If you have one of these in your purse, you can pull it out, put it around your shoulders, get a little, so that you're not chilly inside. But her mission, Laura's mission with Jewel Designs is she sees so many people crocheting scarves and shawls, and then they just go put them in a box somewhere and they don't wear them. She wants to see people wearing the things they make. And so she's come up with a lot of different things. Let me show you real quick. Here's another one that I always keep ready to go. But just to answer Hannah's question, this is the Eileen, Eileen, the Eileen shawl. And I do have a video on this channel. But some of the other things that she carries are these little stud buttons. And so what I do is, I just go ahead and get this shawl, ready to go. So it's ready to wear. All I got to do, like just pop on over my head. And if I want to wear it over my shoulders, I know this looks ridiculous with two, but I have these little buttons already in place, so I don't have to style it or anything. So they're a lot of fun. But let me show you just a real quick demo. These things, you just pop them off, and then they come out just like that. They don't hurt your crochet. I mean, put it back on and just pop it. And just pop it right back on, and they stay. So they're just really, really pretty little adornment things. And she's got a lot of stuff in her store. So anyway, if you go to her store, tell her Bonnie sent you. She lives right up the street. A friend of mine, somebody was saying earlier in the chat from Frederick, Maryland. She lives in Frederick, Maryland. So she lives right there. Her studio is downtown. Yay. Thank you, Hannah. Oh, Lynn, you're the first. Lynn Geider would like to know the pattern of the shawl on the mannequin behind you. Oh, this, Hannah, you're not going to find this because it's brand new. So let's talk about this one. All right, this is a new design. This is a shawl, and it's actually a larger shawl. Let me take the brooch off. Okay, I got this. This is what the Christmas present that I got from Ruthie, Hannah. Isn't that beautiful? So this is an asymmetrical shawl that you can wear as a scarf. I'm losing vocabulary. Let me go ahead and turn it to the right side. And this is the pattern on the shawl. I absolutely loved working with this yarn. This yarn is made for you by Laura Yarn. I think she's on Etsy. You remember the yarn that I used last year for the Rahab scarf? This is the same yarn, but I couldn't get enough of this blue. And so this is and this is the beginning of it. Okay, so you can see it's a sizable piece. And I'm calling this, and Hannah's going to get the answer on this one. This is my Quadro Triticale scarf. Okay, so any of you Trekkie fans out there, do you remember Quadro Triticale? That was a Star Trek fictitious name of a four-lobed wheat. And it was in the episode Trouble with Tribbles, if any of y'all are fans. And I do have a pattern to make tribbles on my site too, if you're ever interested in making a tribble. Um, but anyway, so it does feature the small wheat cable and the large wheat cable and the basket weave along the sides and the wattle stitch. So this is going to be coming out probably in April. Okay, I still need to. I completed it. I'm really excited about the way it came out. I just love this yarn with the Donegal in it. It's a superwash merino wool fingering weight um, with the Donegal, which are the little flecks of like felt that appear randomly in the yarn. So I'm looking at an April date possibly for getting this one out. But I'm really, really excited about this one. It was so much fun to make, and I want to make some more just like that. Some more scarves. This one will probably be coming in March. I'm hoping to get this out by the end of March. And I showed this to you already. This was the all the questions I was trying to draw you all out about granny squares. Well, this is what I ended up making, calling this directionally challenged. And I've written the pattern. The pattern is in the hands of the editor. The video is ready to go. I just got to wait for the editor to get back to me. And it'll probably be looking at maybe 2 to 3 weeks out on this. And it's about 84 inches long, not including the, here we go, not including the fringe. And I did use Noro, is it Nishiki yarn? And for the color changing, I think that's the name of it. And they always have the hard names to remember. And then the other yarn, the green part, is this thinner yarn that I use called Sonata. But I'm visioning that this could be something that you could use for your stash to be a stash buster. You don't have to use color changing yarn like I did. But if you do, you're saving yourself an awful lot of hiding a lot of loose strands. Because I was listening to you all in the survey and everyone's like, yick, I don't like to hide all those loose strands. Well, I don't either. There are going to be some loose strings to hide because you're connecting things up. But it's definitely a more of a boho style. You see, I left I wanted there to be some texture where I connected these. And so you do see the, I'm trying to, yeah, there we go. You do see the slip stitch that I used to connect, but there's no sewing. It's just all slip stitching it all together. And then a slip stitch to kind of go around to kind of give it continuity. So anyway, and then the arrow stitch just kind of going up and down and all the way around, just kind of like someone's directionally challenged, which can be any of us depending on where we are. So put that back there. That'll be coming. And I'm just going to show the rest for you all. For those of you who took my knitting, my beginning knitting for crocheters, I finally finished the baby blanket. This is a One Cake Wonder. And I don't have the yarn in front of me, but that's okay. This isn't going to be ready for release for a while. So maybe sometime late April, May, I'm hoping to be able to release this. It's a very easy pattern. And if you are a beginning, you want to learn beginning knitting. And if you're a watch subscriber, you can definitely take a look at the knitting class that I taught. But beyond that, I already have tutorials on beginning items, and I go slow in all of them, I promise you, because I don't want anybody to miss out. For so many years, I tried to learn knitting. It just didn't gel with me. I'm far from an expert now, but I know how a beginning knitter thinks. And so I tried to go slow to just be very deliberate in these videos, because I know a lot of time people assume that you know this, that, and the other thing, and they just kind of barrel on through that. And then that's where you end up losing a lot of students. So I tried to be as meticulous as I could in demonstrating this. And I think it's a very, very easy. This looks hard because you see the border there. You're crocheting this in rows, and it's not anywhere near as hard as it looks. So anyway, that's the Easy Knit Baby Blanket is in the queue. And what time is it? Oh, I'll show you one more. I have one more thing that's coming down the pike. I'm not sure exactly when, but this is an easy project for you all. This is a hooded baby towel, and this is made of 100% cotton. This is the I don't remember the name of it, but it comes from Hobby Lobby. It's not I Love This Cotton. It's another type of cotton, very, very soft. I believe it's a DK weight. It's wonderful. And I'm so excited because my model for um, for these photographs is coming on Wednesday, and he's bringing his mom, Becky, with him. So it'll be his first time on an airplane, being very exciting for everybody. But so I'm really looking forward to having Rex here, and he's going to be my little baby model so we can get some nice pictures of this so that people will understand what it is. And then I can't really promise a date on this, but it'll be sometime, probably after April. So we're looking forward to that. All right, and one more thing. I just got all these goodies sitting around. I just wanted to get to them. Um, I am using this for the first time. Premier Just Yarn Value. It's a collaboration with the publisher on a particular design, and this is their choice of yarn. This is what they wanted. I can't say any more about it, and I'm not going to because yeah, it's got it. I have to wait. I have to take a lock. This is 100% acrylic, but I posted this on Facebook, and I was encouraged that a lot of you said, "Oh, I love that yarn," and so I'm not going to say any opinions on it just yet because I'm just about at the end of the first skein, and I've got several more to go through. So I'll be doing an evaluation on this, or I will let you all know in the future what I think about this yarn. But so far, it's so far it's been, it's been pretty good. Um, it's I don't think it's as well. I'm not gonna say anymore. Um, but it is interesting. It's very, very inexpensive. I couldn't believe I saw this online and it was like, I don't know, $6 or $7 for 879 yards, 875 yards. Let me verify. 875 yards or 14 ounces. 100% acrylic. So, yeah, I mean, I think as far as the value go, I think it's definitely a really good value. And I think this is what, made in Turkey. Yeah, made in Turkey. Um, just like most acrylic yarn is. I believe that the Lovecrafts yarn is also made in Turkey. This does feel different than the Lovecrafts yarn. Um, but that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about it right now, because the jury is still out on my opinion here. So I'm going to give that more time, and I will let you know in the long run. All right, I am woefully behind on your comments. I apologize. But Hannah is reading the comments as we go, and thank you for doing that, Hannah. And I will look at them once we're not live in case I don't get to you, but I'm going to try to get to everybody. Yeah, Archer Nay says, wish this was closed captioned. I need to figure out how to do that. Terry, I need to figure out. I don't know that I'm able to do that with live just yet. And if I did, it's going to be far from perfect. But I will look into that for you and see if there's a button I can push or something to make that happen. But so far, I've not been successful at that. And quite frankly, the way that the live AI presents itself, I'm just a little concerned that it might be a little insulting if it says the wrong word or something, if you know what I mean. But I'll look into that and I'll see what I can do because I know it is getting better. Um, all right, we have Cynthia G from Germany. I know this is an old comment. You probably posted that 40 minutes ago, but thank you for being here. And oh wow, yeah, I'm sorry, Cynthia. I'm not Cynthia Burke. I'm looking at the comment. Blessing was no one was in it. I don't know if it's in response to it. Oh, okay. That might have been the accident that or the trees coming down that Phil was talking about. Yeah. And thanks for praying for the truckers, Terry, and for Phil. That is so kind of you. Um, and let's see. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Terry. I did see that come in. I just didn't make notice of it. Thank you, Terry. Again, Archer and Ace for that the $10 donation. Let me go ahead and add that to my list here so that I can keep track. Thank you so much. Where is that? Okay, here it is. So that brings us up to 35. Thank you so much. Um, and this time around, it's going to be going to the Shriners Hospital for Children because the last donation went to Rancho 3M in Mexico, which is the Christian orphanage and school. So this will be going to Shriners Hospital for Children, and of which we've had, I know of 3 people in my life and in the chat that have been patients and not charged because receiving free care, graciously wonderful care from Shriners over the years. And the oldest patient would be my mother-in-law. Um, and she was a patient there when she was a child. So they've been around a long time. Okay, and we have Yarning for a Smile. Hello to you. I love the name of your channel. That's great. And Cynthia Bailey waving right back at you. And is it Chelly from the Ozarks? I don't know if the E is silent or not, but welcome, welcome. And Carl and Cass, welcome to you. And Kelly Dye. Oh, Kelly, my Pittsburgh friend. So good to see you in the chat. I hope you're doing well and that your health is holding, and hope you're thriving there. And Julie says, hello from a very cool 50-degree and cloudy Southern California. Whew, burr. Um, it's still a little bit warmer than us. Wow. Najla says the daffodils are already out. It is a little early, but as Sunday is the grandmother's day in France, it's okay. That is flowers we give that day. Oh, I didn't realize that. That is really cool. Yeah, I've seen some of them in some places, where the, places like here where the sun is hot in places like when sometimes like against a building where the building blocks the plants from the cold wind. I'm starting to see some start to come up. But those are really hardy plants. I've seen daffodils in full bloom with a layer of snow, spring snow on them, and it didn't even phase them. So they're such a beautiful hardy plant. And this is March, so it is time to see daffodils. I'll need to change the flowers in my silk flowers in my little guest bathroom here. Um, and Jane, welcome, welcome from hot Thailand. She says it's 12 midnight here, but enjoying the chat. God bless you all. Wow, all the way from Thailand. That is so far away. Um, I've never been to Thailand, but I've been to South Korea, and it takes a long time to get there. It's very far away. Um, so glad that you can join us. Wow. And Yarning for a Smile says, "Oh, she's barbecue. Yeah, we have really good barbecue. Doesn't make sense that we have good barbecue in Maryland, but we do. We do." She says it's rainy here too. And Alabama this morning. I'm sitting and knitting as I transfer photos from my phone. Oh, cool. Yeah, Alabama. That's not far. When I go down to Georgia, we're not too far. About an hour or so from the state line there, going over into Alabama. So, yeah. And got a lot of things loaded here. I am not going to be able to get to all of these guys. I am so sorry, but I will take a look at this as I get my lunch out. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, um, yeah. Fiber Floozy was Crass was asking, is that hipster cotton? Honestly, the cotton that I was showing you on this baby towel, I don't know what it's called. It comes in a little cake, and it was really nice yarn. Um, I'm just not as familiar with the Hobby Lobby names because I don't have a local Hobby Lobby. I have to wait till I get to South Carolina to go to a Hobby Lobby or visit my daughter down in Georgia to go to Hobby Lobby. We don't have one really anywhere near me. So I that's my treat is when I travel south, I get to go and do my shopping there. Well, let me just make sure. And then Jacqueline, good to see you in the chat. And I just want to make sure uh, if there's anybody. Oh, Wanda says, Grannies are forever. Can't wait to try this. I like to wear my items. I've done all of the necks and noggin sets for myself and gifts. Oh wow, that's a lot of hats and scarves. Um, yeah, and Hannah says we'll have to go to Hobby Lobby when you come here. You got it, Ace. We'll have to do that. Absolutely. Um, I just wish I could. Yeah, this is kind of silly. I really enjoy driving to Miata to Hobby Lobby when I'm down there where Hannah is because it's just nice taking the country, twisty, turny country roads to get there instead of the highway. I really like doing that, but I'm not going to be able to take the Miata because we're going to have 4 people going south. So won't be able to do that. Fiber Floozy says, I'm left handed, dyslexic, and definitely directionally challenged. Well, you'll like this scarf. Yep. Um, okay. And Sue Barton wants to know the other charity. And I encourage you all, if you want to look these up, I mean, by all means, it's called Rancho. Let me just go ahead and write it. I don't know well, it's called Rancho 3M. That's the name of the ranch. It's again, a Christian school and an orphanage in a very probably the one of the poorest places I've ever been in my life, and we spent about 8 days there working on the compound. It's a real place. Been there. Um, great, great work is being done amongst those kids there. And what's fascinating is some of these kids come in as orphans, and are left, and then they're raised there in the camp and the school. And then they come back as adults and they want to be counselors and teachers and work in the same place where they grew up, which I think is just beautiful. Um, Instead of going, to like some really nice place in a first world nation, they go back and help others just like themselves, which is really commendable. Um, yeah, it's not a paradise island or anything like that. It's a place of where God is definitely at work amongst many people and has protected them. That's which is oh, I can't go there. Mm, let's just say it's in a very dangerous place. Yeah, but the people who work there and the children have always been kept safe, which is remarkable. And I know that's the hand of the Lord on these kids and on the staff there. But anyway, yeah. So let me just check to make sure. I just want to make sure. Oh, we have, is it Milan? So good to have you in our chat. And thank you for your encouragement, Mary. I'm just going to go through real quickly and see if there's anything I need to address. And thank you, gosh, thank you, Hannah, for helping what I miss. And Deborah says that is the yarn they sell at the Dollar Tree. It washes up very soft. I've used it on a few projects. One of them was the crochet along with you a couple years ago. Very cool. Wow. Yeah, you can find some good stuff at Dollar Tree every so often. The only bad side to that is you can't go back and get more. If you're going to buy, you see something like that at the Dollar Tree or places like that. I've picked up brand name like mohair. I mean, really high end stuff that's been discontinued in the marketplace. I mean, I remember finding complete sets of Susan Bates hooks that were all gray. So they weren't pretty, but they were the complete 6 hook set in a little plastic case for $1. Yeah. And so you know what I did? I got them all. I guess I was selfish. I cleaned them out. I brought like 15 sets of these home, and I used them as giveaways in my classes whenever I would teach. Hit the road and teach classes. I like to have drawings and just fun things in class. I'm not allowed to sell my books when I teach at places like this, but there's no rule that says I can't give them away, which is what I end up doing. I just have a little drawing with each class, and somebody goes home with a book or two, or a set of hooks or something. So I'm always on the lookout for stuff like that. Okay, Hannah wants me to post my email. It is in the video description, but I'll go ahead and post it once again in the chat so y'all can see that. Oh, thank you, Swanee, on your comment there on the membership. I think you're talking about the watch program, but maybe not. That's okay. And thank you for joining us. And Swanee, you are not dumb if you're late. I promise. Life happens. You're not late. I promise you. You're fine. You're fine. I'm the one who's getting late to your comment, so you're in good company, my friend. Um, oh well, and Angela says her irises are starting to bloom. All right. Well, okay. Again, if I okay, sugar wheel cotton. Phil, I think that's it. I think that's it. That sounds familiar. It's in the other room. I just don't want to walk over there and get it. And I may have put it in my bin of the cotton. I don't know. Sometimes, you organize your. Do you ever do this? I know where everything is, even though it looks like a mess, but then I organize everything and then I can't find a thing. So it's one of those things I could jump up and try to grab it and show you all, but the chances are I could spend 10 minutes looking and, because I organized myself for some reason that I don't know. Well, anyway, I wanted to go ahead. I thank you guys everybody for being here. Okay, I think I got everybody. I wanted to make sure I at least said hey to folks, but I wanted to read one of my favorite hymns again. We are in Lent season, which is the days leading up to Good Friday and Resurrection Sunday. For us Christians, we call that Easter. And I just wanted to read one of my favorite hymns that we can oftentimes use to sing and meditate on during this time as we contemplate the wonderful gift that as Christians, those of you who are Christian can relate to this. And if you're not a Christian, bear with me. And you are, just to let you know, you are welcome to join the club anytime you wish. There's not a lot required except to simply believe. And this is a hymn by Isaac Watts, the great Isaac Watts. He wrote this in 1707. So that was back when we were still a British colony here in the States. And it's called When I Survey the Wondrous Cross, which is based on Philippians 3:7, which says, what things were to gain for me, those I counted loss for Christ. And so here are the 4 stanzas. When I survey the wondrous cross on which the Prince of Glory died, my richest gain I count but loss, and pour contempt on all my pride. Forbid it, Lord, that I should boast, save in the death of Christ my God. All the vain things that charm me most, I sacrifice them to his blood. See from his head, his hands, his feet, sorrow and love flow mingled down. Did e'er such love and sorrow meet, or thorns compose so rich a crown? Were the whole realm of nature mine, that were a present far too small. Love so amazing, so divine, demands my soul, my life, my all. Amen. And again, all by his grace alone. So, well, I hope that encourages you a little bit. And I do wish you all a fantastic week. And thank you again for joining me today. I know you could be doing many other things, but you chose to spend it with me. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Again, have a fantastic week, and I hope to see you next week. God bless. Bye-bye.